a podcast syndicate production. Each of us runs a different pace in life.
As a millennial or someone coming of age into adulthood, it's just a lot of things to process. And a lot of things that you want can't happen now because a lot of things are
in love, friendships, and our own self-worth. As we embark on these journeys, we hold the hope to learn a little more each day.
why can't I have whatever they have? And oftentimes I find myself comparing my progress, comparing what I have with other people, even like in the slyest way. It seems like it's
As we survive and strive to be stronger.
you are really sure and aware of your being as a person and your truth, your core, your everything. Anything that you put out in the table won't be used against you.
So I'd like to welcome you all to love, growth, and freedom.
The different kinds of love that we could see in this world, and on the idea of how love is crazy and how love has different meanings for all of us.
A podcast that believes in love, inspires growth, and advocates freedom. Let me be your friend, your guide, as we all ride the crazy adventure called life. Powered by Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate.
All right, hey lovies, welcome back to Love, Growth, and Freedom with Adrienne Duarte. And today I have with me Rubina Bernabe. She's roller coaster Rubes. Okay, I just can't contain it because she's an awesome person, and like if you've seen her around in Instagram, a lot of people just gravitate towards her, and I gravitated hard towards her because she's this great motivator when it comes to roller skating, and her mindset, I just can't. I'm fangirling right now, guys. So I'm just so glad to have her here because, this is our New Year's special episode, and we are going to have what are the things that 2020 has taught you. And, this year was the definition of chaos, don't you think?
Yes. Put it in... To sum it all up, yes, that was the best word to describe, chaotic. It was very chaotic.
Yeah, right.
And it was, And you having to figure out how to live in a new time and age and in a pandemic and what you're going to do. Yes, all of it.
It is chaotic. Like everything, when you feel like, especially for people who are transitioning in parts of their lives, this year just felt like chaos. Like if you're somebody's, like you're transitioning from whatever age you are or into adulthood.
Yes.
There was a lot of turbulence that came along this way, and it was crazy. It was just...
You know why? I also feel like when 2020 was coming, I just felt like what I could see on social media, everyone felt like, oh, it's my year. I'm going to do, like that was the overall vibe of the world was like, I'm going to get, this is my year. I'm going to do it. And then
the year just no.
Yeah. Well, the year really pushed you to persevere. Like, are you really going to do it? Are you still going to do it despite everything else that's happening? Are you still going to believe in yourself? So.
Oh my goodness. That is just beautiful. That is true. Like, I believe everybody had that mindset of like, because I had a rough 2019. My 2019 was full of personal growth. I had to go through writing my emotions down and whatever. Yeah. And it was just a tough year. And I was like, 2020, I'm going to go out. I'm going to be like dating people or whatever that is. I'm going to just go out there and put myself out there and try everything that I would be, I had a renewed vision of what my life would be.
Yes. I felt that too.
You felt that, like you have finally regained control of
your life.
Yeah, and you were in that and like power of changing things for yourself. And it was just supposed to be that good, but apparently 2020 just really brought us to a whole new platform and leveling of life as it is. It reminded us that how much we have no control of, how little the things we could only control in the world. And there's a lot of us still fighting, we think that was our year 2020, but a lot of people have also already been suffering for a lot of things already. So those are the things that we already also saw this year, that these sufferings were actually light, had brought clarity. Had
Yes, they were
been
brought to
brought
light.
into
It had
light. Yeah.
already, yes.
You know, that we were trying to, I guess, the universe gave us this chance to actually reflect on so many things, because we think that we were living in a world that was heading to something that's, something that's good, but we
Yes.
don't see the parts that we leave behind. And that this year was full of that. We had a lot of, like, we started with bushfires, and then we've got
Oh my
deaths of
gosh.
celebrities, and
Yes.
but
Like,
yeah.
let's be specific. So there were fires in Australia, and
Yeah,
that, like,
there
they were
was.
burning down. And then I will never forget. It was Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
Kobe Bryant, and that
February.
honestly, that like set it off. Like, for me, it was like, oh yeah, Australia fires, and then Kobe Bryant. Since then, it has been like like it just didn't stop. Like, it never
Exactly.
stopped. The news of what was happening never stopped. But to agree with what you said, I think it's because we all had more time to actually open our eyes to things instead of being in the hamster wheel of like, oh, I gotta go to work, oh, I gotta go to school,
Yeah.
we had the time, since we were shut down, lockdown, to actually look at these things and like see that things are happening, and give time to learning about what was going on in the world outside of our world, you know? 'Cause,
Exactly.
yes, we were so caught up in our own world because that's like what we were living in. And then, you hear things like Black Lives Matters, and then like how long that's actually been a thing, not just this
Yeah.
year, but they've been fighting for years, and, political things, and like all over the world, there's things going on. So I think this year really, like you said, it brought to light a lot of issues that had already been happening, but we only had the time now to realize that this is real,
Yeah. And most of us, and most of the, like, the people who are responsible for a lot of these things supposedly are really just brushing it off under the rug. And like it just came out. The monsters came out this 2020.
Yes.
Like it's like when everything started, it was like a Pandora's box of a lot of
Oh
other
my
things.
God. Yes.
Right? But to look at it, these things are cumulative of the things that we actually forgo going through everything. Like, we were so caught up. You were right. We were so caught up
Yes.
with our own goals and our lives.
Mhm.
Like, and this is the moment that the reason why it it really sucks for a lot of us, is because we are forced to stay in the present, to listen to what's going on around us without us moving
Yes.
on from one goal to another.
Mhm.
It was just crazy. Honestly, going down there, we even had Naya Rivera, who drowned in.
Oh my God. That's
I
like really
just-
close to where I live. Like, so
Oh my
really close to where I
goodness.
live. Yes. And that, you know what? I even forgot. That's how much has happened this year. Like, there has been so much. Like, I really forgot. That was tragic.
Yeah,
Tragic.
you would imagine
Oh.
how the sun felt. I really would have just. Oh my goodness! It's just so 2020. It's just the definition.
It's been
of
a lot.
chaos.
I mean, it sounds like it's
Yeah.
only been bad stuff, but it really, like, let's come to the other side of it, that I'm a believer that things sometimes, growing feels like breaking at first,
Exactly.
growing feels
Yeah.
like breaking at first, and things just had to crumble first before we could build up. Like, we had to just tear the whole thing down and then start anew. So in retrospect, and like, it's easy to say it now, but when I was going through it, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. But
Exactly.
in retrospect now, 2020 was the reckoning that needed to happen before we could move on and build anew and like have a better universe,
Exactly. Well, this one though, you have also seen, as we go through 2020, the power of social media has shifted a lot of things
Oh my gosh.
into place. And a lot of these people, a lot of traditional people who, like the boomers or whatever, the generation that went ahead of
Yes.
us, they have always belittled how social media is able to shape the world. And you could look at it now, a lot of the things that's been happening, being mobilized, and
Yes.
mobilized, even though those things that are been or have been sorry, that have been mobilized, they are, though how little they are right now, you must know that there are a lot of awareness that's going on with the people
Yes.
around you, and you get to educate. And that's
Yes.
one of the things that I like about social media. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this podcast. That's one of the reasons why I want to share whatever that comes through it. It's like a personal diary for me.
Yes.
Those kinds of thoughts. So let's go to the good side. You were right. There are good things. There are things that, and you said it's like growing up, it's just like breaking in a lot of things. It's like
Yeah.
breaking up on
Yes.
you. a new boot or whatever. Like, let's bring that up. Or I like to use this word all the time. It's growing pains.
Yes.
You know how you feel like in pain when you are growing up physically. There is such a thing that's called growing pains. So this one, growing usually just feels painful because you are outgrowing the mold that you were put into. You were shown some things that actually could and should bother you because you're a human being that would be bothered by things like those. So 2020 was just that. It was an eye opener, and it really just, for me, on my end, I've already started. Well, I don't want to say I'm ahead of all you guys, but I started in 2019 where I tried to just really focus on self-awareness. There was a lot of things that goes with self-awareness. So the backstory there is I had a massive heart. 2018 was the pivotal year of my life.
Okay.
I'll just give you a brief on that.
I love this right now.
Thank you. So I was in LA for like 2 months of 2018.
Yes.
And I was like, I was really just trying to make my way and see if I could, stay there and whatever. But with the current situation, it was hard to move with immigration. But then I moved to New York for 4 months, explored New York, had so much fun in New York. I did. I mean, beautiful. New York was just beautiful too. And they were kind, like, I mean, I guess my time in the States was, the States was kind to me. US was kind to me then. But after that, I had to go home. So there was a lot of change. I stayed there for 6 months. I was away from home for a while. There was a lot of change during 2018. And then when I came back home, I got outed by someone. So I actually was technically out.
But you didn't. You didn't. Yes.
Yeah. So my dad was the one really having a problem with it. So I wasn't telling him yet. I told everybody. I was like, I'm going to tell him when I'm ready. I'm going to tell him.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the one. So my dad my dad was drinking with somebody. And then that somebody was also, I met her in New York. I met up with her in New York to tour her around and whatsoever. And then I was like, in New York, I was different. I was, the fabulous sassy me because
you are you. You're fullest version of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because nobody knows me there. There was no expectation of who I was supposed to be. And then that came along. She drank with my father because that girl was my dad's cousin's girlfriend. So it's a really, how Filipinos
I know, it's Filipino. You don't need to explain.
It's an Asian thing. So then they went for a drink. They had a tiff, like they fought. And then the girl just said, at least I'm not gay like your son. And she just blurted that out. And I was like, I was watching my
Time out. Time out. I just need a pause for what? Okay, now go ahead, proceed.
All good. I know, same reactions. You'd be surprised. I was like, coming to the next parts of it, I was watching with my ex. I was watching Grey's Anatomy. Then I get a call. My dad was saying, "Are you fucking gay? Are you whatever?" I was like,
no.
I did not answer. I was just like silent. And he was like, "You know what did I do to deserve this?" Those were the lines. And he was like really upset about it. And he was like, he's gonna kill himself because I was like, whatever. So he was really just upset about that. And I was like, I understand you. I did not. And I asked him, my first question was, where are you? I'm picking you up because you're drunk. But then he was like driving, whatever. So my mom told me, like, I told everybody that what happened. I was like, okay, let me compose myself. What am I gonna do? So what I did was I packed my bags. I went to my grandparents' house because they're all fine with it. So I went to my grandparents' house and I stayed there for like 3 months. And my dad and I never had a talk for like 3 months. So that is
the Filipino way, honestly.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
it is the Filipino way.
You let it subside.
Yes.
And then, but there was some like crazy things that happened. They wanted me to go to like counseling in church, and that church offered me like a path to being straight or whatever.
Conversion therapy.
Yeah, there was that. There was conversion therapy. Like was offered.
Oh my God.
I know.
This is crazy.
I know. I told you things were crazy in my life. Like 2018, I thought everything was crazy. Now 2020 came. It's also still crazy. So I was like, all right. Fine. I'm going to live a crazy life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then when I had that counseling, I was like, nope. I told the pastor, I was like, nope. The moment that I accept this, that's that I say that my people in the community are sick and I am not sick. I know who I am. I know what I want. And this is not something I should be fixing. The moment I say yes to this, I let down all the people that's been fighting for their rights.
Yes.
So I walked out of the church and I was like, never mind, never. And I was like, but honestly, I've already foreseen these kinds of things. So I've had plans of where should I go, what will I do, and how I'll set up in my own 2 feet if, the things are not going to fall in place. Then my dad and I had a conversation the next 2 nights. We had like a family meeting and everybody, and he was like, he had 3 points. It's not in the Bible. It's not whatever. It was like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, he said, go home, but things are going to change. You're not going to be able to go out. You're not going to be able to whatever. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, no, I'm not going to go home. You think I'm not prepared for that? I really just stood up for myself. Like, no, I'm not going to go home. You think I'm going to go home and things are going to change? Like, you've seen me. This is who I am ever since. You just knew the truth about me. And nothing has changed. I never changed. So if things are going to change at home, I'm not going to go home. I'm not going to do that. So it was a crazy thing. And then I walked out of the room. My dad just like, please go home and whatever. And surprisingly, things didn't change. The only thing that changed, he grew out of it. He was able to outgrow that kind of machismo, masculine
mentality.
Yeah. So it was really good. Now, up until now, I'm testing him little by little. I wear crop tops at home and whatever. And he really says, what are you wearing? Your shorts are too short. And I'm like, well, it's a new thing. And he's just, he's getting over it. He's at a certain point that things don't really bother him anymore because, he's seen that nothing has changed. So that was the whole 2018. Then to cap things off, I'm sorry, it was a story of my life. To cap things off.
You can't shorten that story.
I know.
There's no shorter version.
To cap things off, my ex of 5 years cheated on me in November to December 2018. And then I figured out a day before my birthday that he cheated on me. So to cap things off.
Why does it always have to be like that? I feel like that is the time old story. I found out before Christmas, before my birthday. Like, why is it always like that?
I don't know. The universe. Well, I think the universe just didn't want me to bring it to 2019.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Thank you next. And that was perfect because Thank You Next came out, and I was like, that was my album. That was my jam for the whole 2019. Then I had Lemonade by Beyonce.
Right.
I was like, yo, I'm like, sorry, I ain't sorry. Like, it was just, so 2019 was really more of the growth. It was hard, but everything was, 2018 was the pivotal moment that changed everything. In 2019 was growing. So I thought I grew up in 2019. There was a lot of things that I had to uncover about myself and learning to, love myself. It's a hard fight. Loving yourself is a hard fight.
It is, especially when you live in a place that the world fights tooth and nail on you to change who you are. Like the goal of the world's goal is for you to be in a mold. And you spend your whole life trying to remember who you were, like your truest form, like when you were a kid. You know what I mean? Like you can spend your whole life trying to fight to be that person, you know?
Yeah, that's like one of the things that was happening in 2018. So come 2020, that's why I thought everything, was like on my end of like, I thought I have the end of the stick this time. I got the long end of the stick and I'm going to have life this time. And it did at a certain point. That's where I learned how to manifest a lot of things. And a lot of the things that I manifested towards my life was, happened. And I couldn't be more thankful that I had those during this 2020 where things are really just crumbling apart on some parts of the world or some lives of other people.
Right.
But I thought 2020 was that. But what 2020 taught me was a lot of the things that I was really just, I had my, I was like a horse with all those things. And
like narrow tunnel vision.
Yeah, the tunnel vision to the goal that I forgot what was going on around me, the present moments. So I made the conscious decision to actually just say, you know what? I'm going to live my best life today. Today is the best life that I have. And what will I do with it? Because I could die any day. Like that's what it's reminding you of. Like you can die any day, a freak accident, anything.
Yes,
so
exactly.
The question that you have at the end of the day, have you lived your best life at that part, or at that
Yes.
day, at that certain moment. So that was like one of the things. So yeah, just crazy. 2020 just taught me all those, and patience. Like patience is the biggest thing that I've learned. Like patience about
this whole year, yes.
Yeah, right?
You know what I was gonna mention about you being able to manifest, and this year being actually, I mean, it's actually turning out pretty good for you. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah,
like, on the
it is.
tail end of it, like we're on the upswing now of 2020. Although there were, of course, rough parts, but if you hadn't gone through all those crazy things in 2018 and 2019, you would not even be who you are or where you are right now, mentally or emotionally. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's all, isn't it crazy? It all works together though. So that's where I feel, how I feel about 2020 is like, there's always a reason behind something, but we have to fight to find it. You know, you have to believe that there is a bigger reason, not just death and destruction. Like, there's got to be a reason that this is happening, and it's for a better purpose, or there's just a bigger reason for everything. And we're all in it together is what 2020 really made me realize that on every level. Like, if you stripped us all of our money, our clothes, our houses, our homes, we are all the same. Like, we are all the same and equally affected by this pandemic. So I think 2020 really humbled us a lot. And because you were saying like it was the year, well, everyone thought it was our year, but it still is your year. But it humbled you in realizing how to make it your year still, despite not being able to do the things you originally thought you were going to be able to do, you know?
Yeah. And also the fact that a lot of the things that was fed to us when they say success were basically like loosely based on what the world thinks of a success. And that's also one of the things that I, narrowed it down to be like, well, success is actually relative. Success is actually different for every people. If that person is happy where that person is, why not?
Yes.
Why would you have to tell him that his life isn't worth whatever? Who are you to say that? Who are you to say that the life that person is living is not up to the standards of the world? But what is the standards of the world? As long as he's happy or she's happy, let her be. Like, as long as they're not hurting anyone, as long as it's not really damaging to someone, why do you have to break it? Why do you have to break their side?
I think we live in a society where success is only equated with like money and material things versus success meaning happiness. Like, if they're perfectly content, just do it, whatever weird thing. Some people just want to paint. Like, they're not as successful because they're not a doctor, or can they have the same amount of success as a doctor if they're happy? You know what I mean? Like, it's the stuff that's on paper. If it looks good on paper, then it's successful. But if it doesn't look good on paper, then it means nothing to anybody else.
Yeah.
It really just matters what it means to you, like what you think of your life, not what anyone else says of it. Like, hello, we're roller skating. We're roller skating, and I'm 31, and I'm trying to turn this into something real, like a career somehow. And
well,
I'm not a nurse.
You're a few steps over that. I got that joke. Sorry. Not all Filipinos make good nurses. Not a nurse too.
Amen. That's the point, I think, is that like some of us, your best use is not what someone else's best use is. We're all here to bring something different to the table. And like, our job is to find out what that thing is and then share it with the world if that's possible, if your purpose.
Exactly, but I am happy for you. Like, again, when we look at it, we are at the upswing of 2020. I also was surprised to actually just be there. I was like, I thought this year was just crumbling down and all I have to do is just wait. And then the saving grace, I guess I was telling you, the saving grace was roller skating for me because like a lot of things, like, it's just weird. Do you know how much you like work on the little things? Because that's what people don't see. When you work on little things, it really just accumulates to a lot of things in your life that's like connected to your bigger purpose and bigger goal as a person. And you'd be just shocked of like, oh, I was just doing that for fun. Like, I thought it was just a little thing.
Yes. Right? Those are the big things, actually. It's the stuff that you don't even think. I feel like it just works like that. The stuff that you are just pulled towards, but you're not focusing so hard on, are the things that you'll find success with. Then if you're pressing so hard and trying, don't you feel like that? Like, the things that I'm like, oh, I did. When I started this roller skating account, I did not imagine it to be what it is even right now. And it's only been like 4 months, you know, like that's not what I created it for. But then it turned into that because I was just so genuinely passionate and excited about it. It didn't feel like work, you know?
Yeah.
And now posting videos and like sharing, the whole thing is just, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
And the fact that you get to touch a lot of people along the way is also just, I would imagine, like, it feels good to be like spreading the love. You know, the more you give, the more you have is the kind of thing. Like,
yes. Well, I'm the kind of person that like that is fulfillment to me. Like to like make other people believe in themselves and believe that they can and be confident. That's like the dream right there. Because even before doing this roller skating thing, prior to that, I had my regular account. I had been trying to grow for like years, trying to like share a message, trying to be a source of inspiration. It just was not happening. I couldn't find a community. Nobody cared. I would go live and like nobody, you know, it just, not that nobody cared, but I still kept going because I knew this is what I wanted to do somehow.
Yeah.
But then I found the skating community and like that. I
Very
found people
supportive. Yeah.
Yes.
You found
and we were
your
talking
people.
about that. Yes,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I was gonna say that too. I was like, now I'm on, like, honestly, it's funny though, because I'm also that kind of person that was trying to do the whole thing. Like, you want to send a message of self-love and whatever on that end of the other account, my personal account. So I made a skating account, but I was like, I can't manage too many accounts. I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. Let me just post everything in my personal account because, well, my life is just, you know, out there either way.
It's part of it too.
Yeah, so might as well just enjoy it. And I try to make it as aesthetic as possible because, well, that's the standard. But I was like, never mind. You know what? I don't give a rat's ass. I'm happy about this. I am, like, you know, whenever I'm so happy right now because, like, roller skating, and I never thought I was good, actually, to be honest. When people tell me, oh my goodness, you're so good, I was like, oh, I thought I was like, no, I thought I have to do more. You know, I always have that kind of idea of like,
we're our own worst critic. That's why. Yeah, we're hard on ourselves.
So I was like, oh, I keep doing this. I remember like the days where I was just like, I would fall on my butt just finishing my 2-foot spins. I was like, that kind of hurt. And then I even had like a terrible fall where my ass had like, 2 big bruises because I just really fell on my butt. I was like, damn. I mean, those were not documented because when I roller skate, most of it, I don't like documenting it because I want to feel the moment and how you're free and so
enjoying it.
Yeah, so what I do now is just like, you know, just like, let's take a shoot, just one. Let me just have fun on camera, and then that's it. Like,
and then you can enjoy the rest of the skate session.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I like getting it out of the way too. I'm like, okay, let me just get this out of the way, and then I can really just do whatever.
Yeah, like I don't want to deal with this as it goes. So that's what's also been happening for me in roller skating is that people are also starting to notice that, and I'm like really grateful because even in the small group that we have in the Philippines, I'm just so happy that they are very, very supportive and like, dude, even Rax, like the photo that she sent, like I sent you, I was like, that was an amazing photo. I was just
such a great photo.
I was blown away. I was like,
she did it, like, that was professional. She did a great job.
I know, and that was
magazine quality.
And I was like, wow, that was good. I was like, I should be on Moxie's. Shout out to Moxie's. Shout out to you,
I hope they repost it.
I know. I did join the brand ambassador thing. I think you could do that. Like, you can get a discount code.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I applied to be like, it's an app. So I applied doing it. So it's crazy. So that's
just another thing, another cool thing.
I know. So that's like, I mean, 2020 have a lot of like those times where it's good. It dipped us into that like water of despair to see if we're gonna like
push through
there. To see if we're gonna stay there and just let it consume us, or for us to actually make something out of it.
Yes.
So it was. So my question for you here, like, let's move to the questions proper. How have you like coped this 2020? What was the things that you worked on as you went through 2020?
So 2020 started out with like a big breakup for me. So that was in January. We had just gotten a dog. We had just signed a lease, like a lease on an apartment together. Both our names on there, and we got the dog January 2nd. And no joke, January 23rd, we broke up, and it was like a 3-year relationship. So I was like, that was how I started my year. So I had only up to go, honestly. And then Kobe died, of course. And then I turned 31. So like we have like very similar stories.
I know. I would realize it.
So that was like, it doesn't even feel like the same year. So 2020 really pushed me. And this is what I take from it now, because I was broken. Like I didn't smile or laugh for like a month and a half. And can you imagine me not smiling or laughing? It was not okay. It was not okay.
I don't think that's gonna be Rubina if she doesn't smile, laugh, and like.
No, I was just all I could do was exist, and that's all I could let myself do. I was like, okay, let me go to work and let me just exist and let me just deal with this. But what the breakup really, and the breakup set off all the other internal things that I've changed. It was like, I need to focus on me. In a relationship, you spend so much time trying to help the other person, and it's a support system, right? But I gave so much that I let my goals go off to the side. And then 2020 really shifted it back into place. Like, girl, you need to do this. It doesn't matter the right time, the right person. No, you need to just do this now, because you don't know when or if there will be another time, which is what 2020 I think has really taught us all. It was like, you just got to seize the moment now. It's never too late, and you should never give up. And yeah, so I thank God for unemployment, because I ended up having to pay the rent that we were supposed to split by myself, obviously. And then I ended up keeping the dog, which is fine. She's my girl. But it just really, 2020 showed me what I'm made of, for sure. It really showed me, like, what are you made of? And I'm like, damn, I'm made of, I got it. Like, I got it.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
You're strong. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Oh my goodness. I had to let that out, because that was
Kelly Clarkson.
I know. And like, that's a theme song. Whenever I go through a breakup, my theme songs are crazy. But wow. Oh my goodness. I am, first off, fuck. Oops. Well, whatever that is. Sawed off, dude. And I agree with you with the breakup. I think that person was probably your hard love. They say that there's a hard love that teaches you.
Yes, there's 3 different loves.
Yeah, like the love that feels right, the love that changes you, and the love that lasts. So the one that changes you is this one. And I'm like,
this is the one.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was the one for me too. So I was like, okay, this is the hard love. And it's just so cool. Do you see how cool this is? Because we kind of like have a similar shiz going on. Yeah. Totally. And like, we were just connected through roller skating, and just like, now we're on a podcast together. And I saw that you have your podcast, You Undeniably.
Oh my gosh, we haven't worked on it in so long, and we need to. So what happened, the pandemic, we were living in different places, and we would always record together. And we tried to find a way to do it like this, but we couldn't figure it out in a way that worked for us, because then he started working. But we really want to do it again. This is actually, doing this right now with you is like a sign for me from the universe that I need to do it again. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
so like,
you have the power, you have the platform now again to do this, because I think you started it out to be one of, to change the world in your own little way, and you can still you can do that now. You have the power. I mean, thank you, roller skating community. Thank you for everything on this one.
Yes.
This is such
bless this place.
I know, right? Oh, okay. So I just had to so I'm also happy to. So I wanted you to have this on. I wanted you to be on the episode, because I felt like you're going to be able to tell us a lot of things that we could learn from 2020, and that would actually bring us to. So you told us that challenge, and I'm happy that you got your girl, but whatever that dude is, like, all I could say is, well, there's still a lot of things for you to go through, and I'm sure I'm sure that, like, that's, at the other chapter, you've closed that chapter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now you're in a good place, in a place where you can, like, and I'm really
my
happy.
Best version of myself. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah.
I guess that was the sign, though. Like, him leaving was the sign for you to be like, well, you weren't the best self. So
Yeah, that's what it was. You didn't help me be my best self. Not that I was a worse person, but I just wasn't the best version of myself that I could possibly be in
Because you were
accomplishing
tied
goals.
up. Because you were tied
Yes,
up. You felt like you
totally.
had to support some other person first rather than yourself. Because that what I
Yes.
also felt like. I also felt that. So I was like, yeah. I mean, I guess that's what we felt like. You were trying to carry the whole thing into place. Like you thought that that was the thing that's gonna last already, but then
Yes.
turns out it wasn't. So I was like, okay, well,
Thank God, though. Like, thank
I
God.
know, right? Thank
Yeah.
God I found the good in goodbye. I wanted to, man. Oh, like my friends, all my breakup songs, guys. It's the best thing I never had.
We need to
Beyonce.
make like a playlist for other people who maybe go through stuff. Because growing, we'll make a playlist.
Yeah, well, no worries. That would be fun. I do like I have all those. I listen to all those when I go through a breakup. But yeah, so that was how so you've coped. How have you coped from getting through those? How have you coped through the year? Aside from roller skating, what were the other things that you've worked on for yourself?
Oh, for myself. It's really honestly, I had to choose. Like, am I going to just succumb to what the pressures are here and just go get a 9 to 5 job, what they expect of me? Or am I going to go full fledged, believe in myself, and like be a content creator? Like, that was my big, like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? This is the time right now where because I lost my job. Oh, okay, that's the other thing. I lost my job, of course, in March because of the pandemic. And then it gave me time to really think about, what do I want to do? Like, I bartend, but that's not my career. That's just what I do to make money. And I always say there's something you do for passion, and then there's something you do for a paycheck. And the goal is for those two to be one. Like, the ultimate goal one day is for those two to be the same thing. So what really helped me was figuring out that this is what I want to do. And then I started going live. Actually, during quarantine, I went live every day for almost like 60 days, for like almost 2 months. Every day I went live. I raised some money for Black Lives Matters. I raised some money for the Philippines, typhoon relief.
Yeah.
And then, it just made me realize that I'm here to like inspire and motivate. Like, that is my true like calling and passion. And I don't think I would have realized it if it weren't for this year, because I would have been just doing whatever, filling my time however I was supposed to do it the normal way. And then the pandemic just, shifted everything.
Well, oh my goodness, it gave you the power. This year gave you the power that you never thought you had within you.
I really didn't. I didn't. And I also was in a relationship where, not that he didn't believe in me, but he didn't believe in that being a thing, that you could create your own life. He was in you got to go to school and you got to go get a 95, we had very different paths, and I would have probably gone down that path had none of that happened,
And I don't think that you would be your happiest version of yourself.
No.
Yeah, no.
It's crazy.
I know. It's crazy. I'm happy for you that you've got the power, girl. Like this year.
I've got the power.
I know. See, I'm just feeding them to you. You got to sing that. All right. Okay. So looking at that, that's already inspirational and motivational as it is itself. There's not a lot of people who can turn lemons into lemonade. Like, in a quick span of time. And I mean, that would have broke me for like a while. I took a year really to just get through it. Then this was the year when I was just like, you know what? Life is just good. I was like, life is chaotic. Everything is chaotic. So with all those things that you've done, you've also told me that you did raise funds for Black Lives Matter. You did raise funds for typhoon relief. See, like there are so many things that you were able to do. And for people to tell you that you weren't able to do this isn't something whatever. I mean, this is a big slap in their face that like, well, things are changing. And I get to cope really well, really quick this time because, well, this is where the world is heading on that direction.
Yes.
So with yourself, like what were the hardest things? Like what was the challenging parts within yourself? Were there self-doubt? Was there anything that
There's still self-doubt right now. Oh my goodness. It's so crazy because I had wanted to grow my platform for so long. Like I had tried. And then creating so I only had my roller skating account since July, and it's what was it now? It's December, and it's grown, exponentially. I'm really great. Like, I can't even believe it. But then the self-doubt part creeps in all the time. Every day I'm like, is this what you have to fight through. I think that's the point that we have to realize, that it's never going to stop. You're going to have to fight every day to be the best version of yourself, to fight for your happiness, to continue on the journey that you're on, to be the best version of yourself. Every day is going to be a fight for that. It doesn't just poof disappear. There will be, ups and downs to it all the time. Like, you can be cruising all the time, and then life will smack you and test you and see, hey, are you still cut out for this? Are you still going to persevere and push through? Or are you going to give up? And I think this year, the self-doubt, I've definitely kicked it to the curb more than I usually have. I think the pandemic and just quarantine and having no choice but to, like, my big thing this year has been, what do I have to lose? What do we have to lose? You can't take anything else away from me. I have nothing else to lose. You took my job, you took my, whatever. And so it was like no guts, no glory this year, like just go for whatever you want, because what do you have to lose? Nothing. You only have things to gain. It might feel like you're losing at first, but you really only have things to gain. That's it.
That's just inspiring. I was like,
it's true though. It's hard to think about it that way. And it's easy to feel like when things aren't going your way, that then things are going wrong, but maybe things aren't going your way for a reason, because that's not the way you're supposed to go, and those are the things we don't have control of. All we have control over is how we react and how we adapt. And that's the true test, is in like, who are you when things aren't good? Because when things are good, it's easy to be, everything's happy-go-lucky. But when things aren't good, who are you? That's the real courage in being a human, is, how are you when things aren't so nice, What kind of person are you?
Yeah, would you be letting it consume you, devour you, and make you cruel? Or would it, make you kinder to people who's going through more than you think you are? So,
right.
Your journey is just incredible for me. I just find it like, I'm happy that, though, no matter, it is a chaotic year, but for some people, I'm just happy for personal growth on this end. And that's one of the few messages, actually not few messages, that was one of the biggest themes of this year, though. I've seen a lot of everyone's at their own pace, everybody's whatever, and that the pandemic is going on. And there was a lot of reminders that we're not supposed to be so hard on ourselves, because this thing that happened to us is definitely not normal.
Right.
It really halted a lot of things, even the dreams that you have. And like, if there was a timeline to our lives, I think that's not it's not going to be something that we have to put it there. We don't really have to put ourselves and limit ourselves to a timeline in our lives. We have to just.
Yes, that's exactly it. Is like, you don't need to, it's never too late to start something. And that's what it is. And like, it's really never too late for you to live your best life. Like, you can decide today or tomorrow or right now. You don't have to wait for the new year to start being the person you want to be, the new year does bring new things, but you can start whenever you want. Like, and believe.
You start now. You start whatever you are. You start with the little things. Honestly, that's one of the things I've also learned this year was I did try to develop habits little by little. So if you had your live, now I have my coffee morning sessions that you reply to. Like, that's one of the things I started like a few months ago. I was just
I love it.
You know what? I had a dip where I just felt very unmotivated. Like, I was like, where am I going? Why am I doing this? Are things going on though? Whatever. I was just really like, I even had a week break from school and from like teaching my students, because I'm a preschool teacher. So you see the energy. It's
changing the world. You're changing the world.
I am with little adults, tiny adults. So
they're going to be the adults later on that make the world.
So yes, I'm teaching them whatever I could. So there are a lot of things. Look, there were moments where it just felt like routinary and just everything's just, am I doing something with my life? Like, you have those questions. And I'm like, I get those questions most of the time. And I actually suffer from imposter syndrome a lot. Like when I say, eh,
Same.
same. Like I don't think, why would people want to listen to me? Like I'm not like, I'm like, they're all out of that. Like I'm not someone, because we were also trained to have something good on paper to show off before you are credible enough. So that really just like stops me from everything. So there was a week long that I was lazy. Like every waking moment was just dedicated to the things that I had to do. Like it wasn't really, there wasn't any burning passion anymore. There was just like, let's do this. I just want to get this over with. And I would sleep after. Like every time that there's a time to sleep, I would sleep. I am that person when I get like demotivated for a really like long time.
Yeah.
So the things that I did was to change my habit. Then the morning, that was one thing. I sing in the morning. I do my coffee in the morning. So that's why I do it now every time. I was like, let's do it. I don't give a, even if I was ugly in the morning, I was making coffee, I dance, I'm just happy. And I was like, at least people are like, oh, where's your coffee on the weekends? I'm like, oh, I don't wake up early in the weekends.
They look forward to it though. It's like part of, this is something that feeds your soul and reminds other people to feed their souls too. Like that's how you can choose to wake up happy every day, is to like have something that you do for you, no matter how it's making coffee and listening to music and dancing and singing around. Like, yes, do that. Exactly. 3 times a day if you have to.
Yeah. So that's what she was trying to say. Rubina was trying to say, just do it if that what makes you, start your change now. There's not any time or any good time for good news or bad news to come, but there's just always you to decide to like do something about it. So the little things, that's what I've learned. Like you create a routine. Now what I did was like, I don't hold my phone early in the morning. I just let it be.
I love that.
Down, and I sit down with myself, and that's where I do my manifestation. So I think the universe are the things that like I try to manifest in my life. So I was like, I'm going to say, thank you universe for this. Thank you universe for that. And like,
I'm going to do that. I need to do that more.
Yeah, and then try that when you wake up, and I'd be like, then I affirm myself. I'm like, I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. Yes. I have the power to do everything that I want to do today, and I will do it.
Yes.
And, like, it's just lifts me up every time. So what I do is I leave my phone up first. I do my, like, wash my face, whatever, and, just get myself attuned to just being awake already. Then I get my phone, and that's when I try to record. I'm like, what song will I play today? Like, that's what's exciting part. I'm like,
I love that.
What song will I play? Like, what song will I dance to today?
Yes.
And, like, what they only see in the story is a fraction of it. But if you see me in the morning, you'd see my mom, I would be dancing and be like, she was like, this dude is crazy. Like, I'll be dancing, sing. I even dance to burlesque sometimes.
You do like the full production.
Yes. Yeah. And be like walking with a mic and be like, like I feel like
turning it on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's those little things. You have to remember that they all matter. Like they bring you. They are like they bring you to the goal that where you want to be, and I guess being aware of also your own thoughts are a big thing for me during this 2020. I remember because I journal every day so that I would not forget how that day went for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. No, that's like something I really want to bring into the new year, which I love that you're mentioning it, because I don't know if we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions or anything, but again,
I don't think we need it. That's exactly. We need to wait for the New Year's resolution. There are things that you want to change it.
Change it. Do it whenever. But if you want to wait, you can wait too. But if you want to start now, you can start now. Yeah. But taking time, I think that's the other cool thing that I learned from this year is that if there's going to be something in your life, you're never going to have time for it. You have to make time for it. Like if you're going to prioritize you or working out or like anything that is important to you, it's so easy to make the excuse of, I just don't have time. You have to choose to make time and set aside the time to take care of yourself for like, if it is self-care, I'm going to have, take a bubble bath. I'm going to work out for an hour, whatever it is, set aside time for you because no one else is going to do it for you. Like no one else is going to do it. It's no one else's responsibility. So that self-awareness thing that you're talking about is like really important. Like how you notice when you're unmotivated and you're just going to sleep, but you need to do that. in order to get to the motivated part of you. It's the balance of all of it is about like self-care and then like pushing yourself, of like being determined, but then also the balance of rest days. So all of it. This was a learning lesson this year.
Yeah, true enough. But like, one of my favorite parts of this year though was the how like the traditional view of success was challenged greatly. Like it was.
Oh yeah, because so many people lost jobs that you didn't think before would ever lose their jobs. They lost their jobs too, just like regular jobs. And we were all like, brought onto the same platform.
Yeah. And they were like forced to see that, the times are changing and this is something real. Like what we're doing, content creating, I remember I started in 2017. I told you I've also been trying to grow my, whatever. And like a lot of people then were saying, is that even a real thing? Is that even a career? My father would tell me that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And now you see it. Like these are the people who are thriving right now because, well, they can do it whenever they want and wherever they want. And what's good about this is like you get to share what you're passionate about. And like that's okay. So that's really just, it's a
cool thing. It's a really cool thing that you would have never, like, if you are a boomer, I could see why you wouldn't believe this could be a thing, because there's so much groundwork that you have to go through first before you get to the part of like celebrating and I'm successful. It's like you're gonna have like 3 to 5 years of nothing, and then you get the one yes or you get the one right move and it shoots you off. It's just about pushing through the times when no one else believes in you and you believing enough in yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But that was also one of the themes. That was a part of the episode. I had a finale for season 4 prepared. And we were talking about celebrating the small wins because we are also used to just wallowing in defeat whenever bad things happen to us. We really take that to heart, but we never celebrate the small stuff that makes your heart grow with fondness and happiness.
Yes.
Like it's just, you guys should also practice that. So that's one of the reasons why I love this New Year's episode, because it just jives in with the whole season 4. So the season 4 of my podcast is really more about gratitude and what it's beneficial. Why is it beneficial? How it changed me. And like how I even had the podcast episode with my sister where we really didn't even talk to each other in a very deeper way. So it was like, wow, we put it out.
Learned about each other.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's really like great. So it really gave me that. But what drove me into this spirit of gratitude was also just the roller skating community. That when everything changed, like the wave of it, I won I won the Rainbow Riders, and I got I know that was such a wave. That was such a jolt of like, why am I feeling upset about things? Like, what's wrong with, like, what's going on? Like, I had to look at it. I was like, well, this may not be the thing that I was wired to think was going to make me happy. But I was like, well, now it is. It is something that makes me happy. Why do I have to like, demote this to something that's not,
or question it?
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, that's one of the lessons also. Like 2020 brought a lot. It really did.
It doesn't have to make sense to other people if it makes you happy. You know what I mean? And that's the struggle is like what it looks like. Again, like what we said, what it looks like on paper doesn't look like it should make you happy. But if it makes you happy, who cares? Just celebrate. And when you're saying the small wins, like I get so excited when I get mail. Like if I get anything in the mail, if I eat my favorite food, if my favorite song comes on the radio without me choosing it, I'm like, I turn it all the way up. It's karaoke time. It's on, like just finding the little joys are going to be what make you happy in the long run. It's not waiting for you to get a job promotion. It's all the things in between that you're going to have to.
Exactly.
Yes. All the small things in between that's going to bring you to where you're supposed to go. Because if you ignore that stuff, it's like they're little signs from the universe that you're in the right direction. And if you ignore that and don't show gratitude, I feel like they'll be taken away. Like, you know what I mean? Not on purpose, but like if you don't show gratitude, you get what you give. You get what you give.
Exactly. And that's because again, 2020 gave us that moment to realize that there were little things to be, in your own lives, in our own world, there were little things that you have to be grateful for. You should be grateful for, because again, tunnel vision, before that, you're just also hell bent in getting to the top. But like the journey was everything.
You couldn't even enjoy it though. You were so focused on getting to the goal. You couldn't even enjoy the journey because it didn't feel rewarding yet. It's not rewarding yet until you get to that goal. But now we really see that, like, honestly, if you have a roof over your head and you can take a shower, like, amen, like, you're doing good. It's those little things, like being able to eat a snack that you want to go buy, like the small things that are privileges, really, that we take for granted, not on purpose, but they come so easily that we don't even realize it's a big deal, Like, how about hugs? Remember hugs? I remember hugs.
I remember hugs, but it's been a while since
I got
hugs. I know, me too.
The joy of a hug now, when I get to hug everyone, my God, it's going down. Like, I'm not letting go.
Yeah, I'm a huggy. I'm a hugger. Like,
yeah, I'm a hugger. If you weren't before, you're gonna be now.
Like, you got no choice, honey. It's here.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I love hearing all those. I mean, there was a good side that came out of it. It's not the best. It's not everything, but
no, not ideal.
It is the little things that you have to be, you have to be aware. You can rejoice it. There was a win. The election for you guys was a win.
Oh my God. That's the big upswing of 2020 is like, okay, there's a light at the end of this tunnel, because it's been a rough 4 years here.
Girl, when I saw it, I was like, congratulations, United States of America.
The whole world celebrated it. That's how you know. Like, if you were so bad at your job that the world celebrates when you get fired, basically, like, you should look inward. You should maybe look at yourself and question, why is that a thing?
Yeah. I was as tensed and as anxious as you guys are. I was like checking. I was like, what is happening? What is going on? I was like, I want to know who won. Why are they taking forever? I was like, I hate the wait. Like, but
patience, right? The patience part was rough.
It is. Even up until now, patience is one of my weakness. But that's also one of the things I also want to put out there, is that the more that you wait on something for something to happen, it's not gonna happen. What's the best thing to do is that you set it, you cast it out, you throw the goal out there and do something about it. Do something that you love to do, and do something that will bring you to where you want to go. And you see, one way or another, you're gonna get there. And that's it.
It's never the path that we think we're supposed to take. It's the one that life takes us on, the one that we don't have control over, that gets us there. Like, it's hard because you think you're doing the right thing.
You have to trust it.
Yes, it's the trust. It's the still believing, no matter what, that you're on the right path, even if it feels like shit. Like, that's the belief that and trusting that you are. Like, God, that's the hard part. It really is.
Yeah, it is. I feel you there, girl. I'm like, I mean, I don't trust easily, but okay. Let's see where this goes.
I don't commit easily, but I commit to myself.
Exactly. I commit to myself. I'm knee deep in my commitment with myself. If somebody doesn't serve my purpose and whatever, and they just try to take away my inner peace, I am kind. I am kind to those who need my kindness, and to those who are abusing it, I'm just like, I'm sorry. You're going to move away. Like, let's push you out on this side. I don't need this negative vibe. I don't need this vibe.
Protect your peace.
Yeah, exactly. So going into, so we were talking about, like, if you have a vision, you have whatever, let's change the question here. I don't want to know what's your vision. I want to know what you are manifesting for 2021.
Oh, for 2020, what am I manifesting? Oh my gosh. There's so many things, you guys, honestly.
Go for it.
I have long-term ones and short-term ones. My long-term one, and I keep putting this out there, and I used to be afraid because it is such a wild idea. But I'm going to be something similar to Ellen DeGeneres sometime in the future. Like, that is what I'm...
girl. Yes, you are. Yeah. And I'm going to see you on TED Talk. I'm going to see you on
but like
TED
the Filipino one. And I'm honestly, one of my big goals is to rep for the Philippines, like show more representation. And if I can find a way to, I just want to help more too. Like I need to find a consistent way to help somehow. I don't know what it is, but I know I feel pulled towards, I feel like we just don't have a lot of representation in America. Like, yes, we know there are Filipinos here, but like all the other Asians are way more represented than Filipinos are. I don't know why. When I feel like Filipinos have so much talent and personality.
I think because we get lost in the waves of a lot of things. Like Filipinos can adapt easily. Like they kind of get lost in the whole thing. There are stereotypical jokes about us, but it's not as crazy as the other ones because we slightly blend in. It's a colonial mentality, I guess. That's it. So
Totally.
a lot of like Americans. I remember going through like, so I was there and there was this one woman who told me that my English was great. And like my face was just like you're for a Filipino, your English is great. And I was like, well,
that's a backhanded compliment. It's like, thanks?
It's a microaggression. And I was like, thanks. But I study like in English for like most of my life. Like everything was everything was in English. I was like, that's one of the reasons. And well, it's, it just came out. It was a backhanded compliment. I was like, well,
oh, thanks.
Like,
you know what? I feel bad for those people because they really don't have the awareness. Because like if you were aware, you wouldn't even say that. But when you don't have any aware, you're like, it's ignorance at that point. I'm like, oh my God, honey, no. Like, I know you didn't know, but do better. No. For real.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for that like moment where you become Ellen DeGeneres. I want to have you like let's put it out there. You're gonna have your own talk show. You're gonna have that. You are gonna represent everything. And
maybe in like 10 years.
No, let's put it out there. You're gonna get it. You are
3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years is what I always say. 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5
in the
years.
next year, though, more specifically, if I can do small goals, I want to do like I'm gonna get some kind of brand deal or ambassadorship, and then a sponsorship somehow, somewhere.
Girl.
That's my short term, just so I can get on that path of.
Girl, first off, you were in a music video now.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, it's getting there. Dude, just keep going.
I forgot already.
Dude, it's a dream. I would because of that, I was be like, I should message some people here and be like, put me on your music video. I do roller skates. I'd be like, I'm
should.
good.
Put it out there. Hell yeah. I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
Oh, I was going to try because you know what? There was supposed to be like, this Sunday, there was supposed to be like this, what you call that? There was supposed to be a concert, and it's like old roller skaters from the Philippines asked me if I wanted to join them and perform. But sadly, that couldn't happen because they can't do a live show yet. So I was like, okay, well then it's not for me yet. So I was like,
okay.
Well, at least
put that on the back burner, but it's happening.
It's happening. Like you're gonna see me somewhere. Like
yes.
Y'all are gonna like that. I mean, that's my goal too. Like on that, I just want to do roller skating. Honestly, who knows what if like someone wants to tell me, I want to bring you to like world artistic roller skating. I'm like, sure, train me. Like I am I'm an empty cup when somebody's willing. I'm a good mentee. Like I am an apprentice. Yeah. I am a Padawan if I want to be.
Ooh, Padawan.
I need my Jedi Master. So like,
oh my gosh. I'm wearing socks right now that are Star Wars, so that's really weird that you said that. Like literally, Luke Skywalker is on my foot, and then Darth Vader's
Luke. Hi, Luke.
I am your father.
Oh my goodness! But yeah, so those are your visions. So you're gonna get a brand dealership. You're gonna get them. Do you have any specific? They say when you do manifesting, you become specific down to every detail.
That's what they said to do.
Like I do that. Like I do that.
You get specific.
Yeah, I do.
I'm too scared to get specific yet. I don't know why.
Don't. Like that's the limit thing, belief there. Then they say
right.
you take it away, you get it. Like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you a little thing. So I'm a little bit sad because I might not be able to see you next year when you visit, but I'm just okay because we're gonna meet each other soon, whatever. But I did get my visa. One of the things that I manifested was I did get my visa for Australia. I'm supposed to study in Australia this year.
Okay, time out. I can't believe you're saying that because I have had so many things drop in my life. about Australia, like so many things. And I keep being pulled towards like, I think I need to go to Australia. So I might visit you. I don't even care. If you go there, I'm going to visit. Like that was one of my goals.
See, so I'm going to go to Australia. I have my visa. I manifested that for like a while. Like every time I wake up, I write it down. And then it came to me at a very, very chill day. It was like a normal day. And then I got the email, oh, we granted your visa. And I was like I manifested that. I was like, oh my God. Like I got it in the morning.
I'm so happy for you.
I know. I'm so excited. Okay, so those are the things that I manifest. And I really get down to the details. So I was like, okay, thank you, universe, for this. I want to thank you, universe, for my white room in this city, in this blah, 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 blah. Like I really just put it down.
Wow.
Like, a white room with like a twin-size bed, enough for me to have space, and white sheets that I could get on, or like down to the nitty-gritty of everything.
Okay. You're teaching me something. I'll start being more specific.
Yeah. And then you could also do this. You could also like write like a journal entry from like 2 months, and you're gonna be like, a future. You're like, oh, thank you, universe, for this one. Or like, oh, I got this. I was in this. I got into the hotel room. It was nice. I got into this whatever, and like you manifest that. So it's like time traveling.
Okay, time out. Have you heard the story of how Jim Carrey, before he blew up, he was like living really terribly, like he didn't have anything, and he wrote himself a check. I don't know if it was for $10 million or a big check. Before he wrote himself a check for it, and like the day before that check was supposed to like bounce or whatever, he got basically called back to do The Mask. Do you know the movie The Mask? I don't know if you do. If you know.
Yeah, but like it's the pretty much, green one. It's the green one.
Yes, it almost it was one of the movies that set off his career. And he manifested that he signed himself a check, wrote a check for $10 million and said, by this time, I'm gonna be doing it. And then he did it. Can you imagine writing yourself a $10 million check and then it happening?
Oh, that's just amazing. Oh my goodness.
I know. Not that it's about money, but like just that he had the goal of like
like put it out there, you attract what you put out there.
Yes.
Like that's one of the things I also like been learning through the whole time. It's like you attract the same energy that you put out there. So if you're always like down in the dumps and allowing it to happen, it's really just gonna bring you also those kinds of things. But like, obviously with all the mental health thing that we talk about, it's not easy for everybody. So it's a different
absolutely
journey.
Not.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. So I just want to like put it out that it's not that you have to be very toxically positive or something, but there is something that you can look forward to. And if you need help, like you go for it, you call for it. I'm an advocate for mental health all the time. So I'd be like, if you feel like it, go for it. I would get myself checked if I feel like I need to get myself checked. So those are the things that
that's part of self-care is understanding that you might need some help and that you need to do whatever it takes to better yourself, whatever it takes. It doesn't have to look like what it looks like for other people,
Exactly. Well, that's amazing. So I can't wait for you to have your manifestations on next year. You're going to get your brand deals, your sponsorships, and you're going to get a platform. You have the platform. You're going to get
50K is what I'm hoping for 2021.
That's not big enough. That's Shut
up.
No, you can do this. Of course you can do it. 50K, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna get 50K. You are gonna get it. You're gonna get there no matter. Oh, this is just so much
You
fun.
You too. All right, let's hear what's your number manifestation for 2021 then? All right, let's hear it.
It's funny though, I don't have a number manifestation yet. That's like, I've never thought of it yet, but I did have what I did was I had a vision board. That's what I did for next year.
Oh, yes. I'm going to do that for next year.
Oh, where's mine? They can't see this, but my vision board had my dream house down to the specific, a rustic cabin with which I always see, a rustic cabin with like a gazebo at the back, a bathtub, and like a own nook. As a psychotherapist, like I would be like a psychotherapist and be like, I have my own book and all those kind of things.
Oh my God, I love it.
Written that in vision board. And I also did, so funny, I also did put myself to have a talk show like Jimmy Kimmel or like,
yes.
I did like, I was like, I'm going to have a talk show too. And I'm going to be in
This is going to be a thing. This is going to be a thing. Totally. I can see us. I come visit you in the Philippines and oh my God. Or Australia, wherever you are.
Yeah, but that's like, and I even put roller skating there. Like I put Umi Janta as like a goal. I was like, oh yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, I love her.
I know. And everybody, you know what? When her video blew up, everybody just sent it to me. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, that's so cute. But I'm not into that level yet. Like, her moves are just amazing. I was like, how can she even move with that kind of speed? I'm like,
she's amazing.
I know.
But she's done it for years. So that's the thing, too, is like, we can get there. It's just she's done it for longer. You know, we're all capable.
Probably get there like, I don't know, 10 years? Like
2 years. 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. Let's say 2 years. Be specific about your manifestation.
All right, we'll do it 2 years. We can do it. Like, honestly, that's okay. I don't have a number yet. I'll get back to you with that number. Okay. I'll send it to you, of course. But those are great goals. Yes, let's hold each other accountable. I can't wait.
Yes.
This is just, now I made a friend and it's amazing. You guys, I am just really, I'm just so I'm so kilig. The kilig answer. So I'm blushing. I'm like, yeah, I'm so kilig right now to be actually be with you on this podcast. I'm just so happy. Oh my gosh. You know what? I can't wait to like share this in the Facebook group. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm with Rubina. Like, yo.
They don't even, I can't even imagine people even knowing me. It's so weird to think about it like that in another part of the world without them being like my family. Like that other people know me is so amazing because just, isn't it crazy to think about? Like, really think about that.
It is.
It's crazy.
It is. Oh my goodness. Like, dude, when I went into your live earlier, I was like, whoa, there's a lot of people here. I doubt that she's gonna see me. I was like, I was so scared. I was like, she might not see me, so I'm gonna send in like multiple messages. Hey, oh my goodness.
I saw it.
I was like, yay. And then you made your own margarita, and I was like, yes, girl. Like, I was there. I was happy. I let you like play on the background while I was doing stuff, but just quite great. And thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I am grateful for a wonderful New Year's episode. And this is a long episode, y'all. I don't really mind. This was an amazing one. I really felt it. I'm so grateful, Rubina. But before we end, I'd love to hear, like, if you have any messages to people all over the world, whoever's going to listen to this, whatever the numbers, whatever the days, send a message, tell them anything you want, and tell them where you can follow you, see you, and support you.
Oh, I love that. All right. Here's the big takeaway. It is never too late to live your best life and be happy, okay? You can spend your whole life trying to make your lifestyle more acceptable and more palatable for whoever you think you need to do that for, maybe your parents, maybe your friends, maybe your siblings, whoever you feel judged by maybe. And yeah, maybe they will, but you have to live your life for you. You have to live your life for you. All you have is one life. And you want to be able to say at the end of the day that you were your truest version of yourself. And I think even if you're 4 or you're 40, it's never too late to do that. It's never too late. And don't let anyone tell you that it is and that you can't, because you can. Also, if you were looking for a sign to buy some roller skates, this is it. Do it now. I swear, do it now. You will be so happy. There is not a moment that I'm on my roller skates that I don't feel joy, like genuine, pure, childlike joy. So if you're looking for a sign, yes, go get some. You can follow me on Instagram at rollercoastingRubes. I'm working on a couple of other things, but for now, hit me up on Instagram, DM me, slide in there. I'm always sending love and I'm always sending good vibes. So thank you. And thank you, Adrian. Honestly, I told him already, I'm very proud of you, like of who you are. I don't even know. How old are you?
23.
Oh my God. You're so young. You look at you. Oh my God. You're doing, I am even more impressed and proud of you. Like, guys, can we give it up for him for your podcast is Love, Growth, and Freedom. And it takes people years to be able to get to a point of believing in those things or fighting for those things. So, it's never too late and it's also never too early. Like, look at you, 23 and already woke as F, So I'm just really proud of you. Thank you. I have your theme is gratitude for 2020, and that's all I feel right now. I feel a lot of gratitude for this community, for you inviting me here, and just for the overall energy that we're going to bring into the new year. I feel it. Do you feel it?
I know. I'm just happy. Like, I am going to release this like a day, like the eve, I guess, here. So I probably release it and let you know, and I'll send you.
No worries. No worries.
And be ready for your promo cards. I'll be creating.
Oh yes,
promo cards.
I will send some stuff. But I love it. Right. Yes.
All right.
I can't wait.
I know, me too. All right. So it has come to an end. Thank you so much, lovies, for listening to this podcast. It means the world to me, and thank you for ending your 2020 with us. Like, listening, if you've listened to this, and I'm sure you would have, and I would want to say thank you to all of you. And I wouldn't be anywhere I am today if it wasn't for all of you and for all your love and support. So thank you so much. And I can't wait to be with you on 2021. And I've got so many other things up in line for you. So bye, lovies. Happy New Year, and we'll see you soon.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Oh my goodness.
You enjoyed this episode? Be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or via RSS. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And if you want to know more, check out www.guerrillapodcast.com.au or guerrillapodcast.com.ph. A Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate production.